Welcome to Are You Quizzing Me? I'm Vineeth Nair with my co-host Aditya Kashyap. This is a quizzing trivia podcast show. Join us as we dive deep into history, science, sport, pop culture, and so much more. Let's get quizzing.
And we're back for episode number 38 of Are You Quizzing Me? Your favorite quizzing podcast show. We have a question from Aditya that is pending. But before we get to that, there's a small matter of the audience question. So, this is the audience question for today. Tilly Kotman, better known by her online alias Maya Arson Krimiu, is a Swiss developer and hacker. In 2023, they announced that they had gained access to a 2019 copy of this. Let's call it X. Allegedly, she had found this on an unsecured server belonging to a regional airline, Commute Air. According to the hacker, X was unusual in that over 10% of the entries were Mohammed. What is X? Let me repeat the question. Tilly Kotman, better known by her online alias Maya Arson Krimiu, is a Swiss developer and hacker. In 2023, she gained access to a 2019 copy of the United States X. Allegedly, she had found this on an unsecured server belonging to a regional airline, Commute Air. According to the hacker, X was unusual in that over 10% of the entries were Mohammed. What is X? We will get to that question at the end of the episode, but for now, we have been waiting with bated breath for the past week to know the answer to Aditya's fascinating question. Aditya, please enlighten us.
All right, Vineet, I have an answer for you. And this question was basically a reference to last episode's question, where we discussed Pokemon and how Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee are homages to the actors Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. So I asked which Pokemon characters pay homage to Indian celebrities. And you cannot talk of Indian celebrities without talking about the greatest of them all, the one who started or is the great granddaddy of Indian cinema, I guess you could call him, Prithviraj Kapoor. And of course, if you're going to pay homage to that bigger person, you have to have a very important Pokemon, which is Pikachu. And I'll tell you why that is an homage to Prithviraj Kapoor. Pika, obviously Prithviraj Kapoor. But do you know what the Chu refers to? And here's where I'm going to blow your mind, Vineeth. Did you know there's a 1941 film called Raj Narkati? It is not very famous, but it is a film that Prithviraj Kapoor acted in. And in it,
What?
he played. No, hear me out, hear me out. In it, he played this character of Prince Chandrakriti, who I imagine was also sometimes just called Prince Chu. I'm going to
Oh,
put it out
God.
there. So, one of the characters that he has played was Chu, and Prithviraj Kapoor, Chu Pikachu. That is homage to Prithviraj Kapoor's iconic status in Bollywood. Fight me on this, any audience member, if you want to, because I stand by this made up history.
Oh, God. No. Oh, God, that physically hurts. That
I know
absolutely physically hurts.
that does, but it's the truth.
How,
I don't
how,
know what
how,
to
how, 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 how did you get to be this age with jokes like this?
do. Oof. You know what? That's a fantastic segue into the theme of today's
The
episode.
theme for today's episode. Yes, yes, yes. So,
Yeah.
the theme for today's episode, let me just give a shout out to one of our listeners, Mr. Sonu, who suggested this, and I thought it was a great idea, was to focus on, to put it scientifically, the demographic social generations that we are part of, especially with reference to the current Gen Z, and more specifically, their language, because this was I knew about this, but I did not realize how deep this went. They apparently have a language all of their own. I think Gen Z English should be classified as a different language altogether because it has no resemblance to what I learnt in school. Uh, no offense meant to anybody who's from Gen Z, but dude, I just cannot understand a word these people say. I want to start off today's questions with as an homage to this particular generational classification that we talk about. So we've all heard of Gen Z, right? So there are many different generations, so to say. Aditya, if I'm not mistaken, both you and I belong to Gen Y or millennials.
That would be correct. Yeah.
Yes, so we both of us belong to Gen Y, which is all also called, they are also called millennials, who were born between 1981 and 1996. So Generation Z, let me just give a brief kind of précis to our audience so that they are aware of who exactly we are talking about, right? So Generation Z, often shortened to Gen Z, colloquially known as Zoomers, is the demographic cohort succeeding millennials and preceding Generation Alpha. So Generation Alpha is those born after 2020. So we are talking about people who were born between 1997 and 2012. So that
Wait, so
is
we're
the,
still missing 8 years in between.
yeah, sorry,
So
I
2020.
kind of missed mid 2020. So basically 2013 to 2020s, mid 2020s is Generation Alpha. So my
Got it.
son technically belongs to Generation Alpha.
Okay.
You and I belong to the millennials or Gen Y, and the ones in between us are Gen
Gen
Z.
Z.
Gen Z.
Okay.
I'll talk a little more in detail about Gen Z and their characteristics at the end of our episode. But for now, let's dive into their lingo. So, Aditya, let's start off with your question on the lingo and the speak of Gen Z.
So, because we had decided the theme of this was the inscrutable lingo of this generation, I realized you and I might be looking at same resources to figure out what questions we can ask each other. So here's where I went slightly off the course a little bit, and I thought I'll do Gen Z lingo or youth lingo. At least my first question is Gen Z lingo, but it's not a universal Gen Z lingo. It is specifically
Oh,
Filipino Gen Z lingo.
oh, oh,
So I'm
that's out of
hoping,
left field.
yeah, I'm hoping you didn't do this. Okay, and it's
No, I did not.
hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. This is going to be a lot of fun, and I have multiple words I'm going to hit in the first go itself. Okay,
Okay,
so
hit me.
do you know what scoobs means?
Scoobs.
Yeah.
Uh, um, so something to do with Scooby Doo. So uh, somebody who's a, maybe somebody who's stoned half the time or something like that, or
No,
who's
no.
snacky, or who's just acts like a dog. I have no clue where I'm going with
You know what? I'm going to change the format of this question slightly. I'm going to tell you what it means. Just tell me
this.
how to get there because the connections are hilarious. Okay. In the
Okay.
case of Scoobs, I'll just give you the answer because it's slightly tough. Scoobs means hell no. It means an emphatic no. And the connection is
Oh, okay.
Scoobs, Scooby Doo, Great
Uh-huh.
Dane, Dane,
Okay.
Danes. And Danes in in Tagalog means no, and a very emphatic no is Danes. So from Danes, they
Wow.
got to Scoops, which means hell no. Okay. Well, that was tough because there was some Tagalog involved in this. The next few are not even anything to do with Tagalog, but they are hilarious. Okay. So mom jeans, and it means that you have gotten really stoned.
Mom jeans means you've gotten okay. Mom jeans, MJ marijuana.
Oh, no, no, no. That's what you think. Okay, sorry. Let me also clarify. It's either really stoned or really drunk. So, how is
Really
mom
stoned.
jeans really stoned or
I
really
really
drunk?
thought I had that one. Okay, so mom jeans. I'm still guessing it's MJ classify.
No, no,
Shortened
no,
to
no. That's the
MJ.
wrong.
No, no, nothing.
That's the wrong track.
Okay, but you have to admit that kind of worked.
That was great.
Uh,
That was great. No, I give it to you.
okay, no, I have no clue. How do you get from mom jeans to? Okay,
I'll,
I can see you smirking. This is
I'll
going to be
give you a
good.
hint. I'll give you a hint. Do you know what mom jeans look like?
Yeah, high waisted ones with kind of
There
high.
you go.
Oh,
There you
high
go. You
waisted.
use
You're
the
high
word.
and waisted. Oh,
You are high
oh,
and
I
you're
really like
wasted.
that, bro. Oh, nice, nice,
Okay.
nice.
This one is also fantastic. Gumps, which means thanks. How did Gumps become thanks?
I don't know. I have absolutely no clue.
The connection involves one of the most famous Hollywood actors.
Okay, so then it would have to be a Forrest Gump's. Tom Hanks is thanks.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yes. Gumps, Forrest Gump, Tom Hanks, thanks.
You know what this reminds me of? You've heard of Cockney rhyming slang?
Yes. Oh my God. You are absolutely on. That was going to be one of my questions as well. There's going to be some Cockney slang coming up as well.
Oh my god, this just
Okay.
reminds me of that because they start somewhere and they end up somewhere else, and it always boggles my mind how people understand, that this is where it comes from. Oh my god.
Okay. This one is fun as well. Carps, which means are you game or are you down? What do you think carps and are you game is
Carp.
connected by?
No, I have nothing.
Okay, I'm just gonna try to help you with a hint. I don't know. Think Aladdin.
Carpet, magic carpet, Aladdin's magic
Mm.
carpet, but then
Carpet.
how
Carps is
you
carpet. What
okay?
else is a carpet called?
A rug.
Yeah. How do you spell rug?
RUG. Are you game?
RUG.
Oh
Are you
my
game?
god. Oh, sweet Jesus. I
Are you having the time
this
of your life or what?
yes. No, I mean like this reinforces the fact, there's an actual I think more than a generation gap, there's a linguistic gap to understanding what they say. I am terrified. So after doing like I've gone through maybe like 10 examples, I don't think I've gone. I actually feel a little guilty that I haven't gone in as deep as you've gone into Filipino Gen Z slang. I just looked for some of the weirdest ones I could find, or at least in my
Okay.
head, which just betrays my age. But the more I read about this, the more terrified I was that I wouldn't be
It
able to
is fun.
communicate with my son when he gets to
Yeah. Yeah.
be 18 or whatever.
Well,
Wow.
hopefully somebody makes a podcast. Maybe we make a podcast by even in the future, 18 years from now, explaining lingo. Okay, I'm going to ask one last one for this. Okay, so last one
Okay.
was Carps, which asks you, are you game? As a
Okay.
response, I might say, I am game. But I wouldn't say I am game because I'm really cool. So what would I say instead? I'd say Pix. So how is Pix and I am game related?
Picks. Uh, picks. No, I don't know, man.
What are pictures called in the internet terminology? What other words is used for pictures?
JPEGs,
Actually, not even the
images,
internet. It's just yeah, yeah. So what is
images.
that? What did you say? Yeah, which
I'm
is
a, I'm a, I'm a gist. Wait,
IMG.
oh God. Oh
I
my
am G.
God. I'm game.
I am game is IMG, which is images, which is pictures, which is pics. So pics means I am game. So if
We
I
should have an
ask you,
entire
Vineet,
etymology episode just with this Filipino.
I know, right?
This,
This is fantastic.
this is
Uh,
fantastic.
so next time for next episode, Vineet, I'm going to message you and be like, carps. Next episode, carps, and you can reply by saying pigs, and that would be
Absolutely not. But still.
okay. Shout out to any friends in Philippines, our Filipino friends, if you're listening to this, and this one little segment was for your benefit, and also shout out to the website that basically I found all of them out. It's the article is called 10 Crazy Things Kids Are Saying These Days. It's on spot.ph. So go check it out.
Wow.
There are a bunch of other lingos as well, which are hilarious. Okay, Vineet, that was my opening question. I hope I
Wow.
started us off on a fun note. So you take over
No,
now.
no, you've raised the bar a little too much because my questions are going to seem pathetic compared to this because mine are all just temp boilerplate things. Basically, I have a feeling somebody listening to this is going to be like, okay, boomer, because I'm just asking the most basic kind of questions that you can. But chalo, I don't have anything else prepared, so you'll have to suffer through
Let's
with
do
this.
this.
Okay, so
Let's
this
do
is
this.
yeah. So just imagine you're a person who's working with somebody who's from Gen Z, right? So you assign your Gen Z colleague a task via a messaging service, okay? And you end your sentence with a period or a full stop, as we would know it in India. What is risky about what you've just done?
W- What is risky about the fact that I ended a sentence with a full stop?
Yeah, or a period, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
No, I have to reference a very great Washington Post article which I stole this from. But
Okay.
the explanations given to it was just amazing. So I was like, I'm definitely stealing this. So shout out to the Washington Post. They did the research on this, not me.
Love it. Okay. Washington Post. I'm going to get into the mind of the Washington Post now. Let's see. Well, what you have done is you have, by putting a period at the end of the sentence, you have put an end to the conversation, and the conversation should never end, and people should be able to say their piece without feeling like they have been shut up. No, I don't think that makes any sense. What
No,
is the
you're not
reason?
far, but you're absolutely not close either. I mean, like, you're not right, but you're not far either.
Okay, that is a very apt description of my response. Yes. Let me try one more time. Um, by ending a sentence with a period, you have implied that somehow oh, you know what, it's not a feminist stance. You're saying that periods are the end of things, and that's not the case. We live in 2023. People who have periods can still go out there and do things. That makes no sense, and I'm probably going to get cancelled by some feminist people. I'm so sorry. Please don't cancel me.
Hmm.
That was meant to
No,
be a
no, no.
terrible joke.
What, okay, I'm going to go a step further. I'm sorry for interrupting our question with this, but I just remembered this great joke that Anne Hathaway once cracked on with Jon Stewart on the Daily Show many years ago. What is 6.9?
It is a great time ruined by a period. Yes,
Exactly.
I have heard this joke. Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, coming back to our office correspondence, what was risky about what you did?
No, I don't know. I have tried some very terrible responses. None of them make any sense. I don't know. I don't know what is the right
So,
response.
Gen Z might interpret this as a sign of anger or coldness.
What?
Yes, yes. So, yes, let me read out the explanation for this. And this just really shocked me. Now, because Gen Z grew up communicating digitally, because they are the only generation which has had internet from a very young age, right? So, because they grew up communicating digitally, the way the generation uses punctuation marks is very different from their elders, which is you and I.
Hmm.
Periods don't really serve a purpose anymore. Every single sentence is sent in a separate message. So, young people usually omit this kind of punctuation. Gen Z may think that the sender made a conscious decision to use a period and that its purpose may be to convey intonation. A full stop may come across as, "This is what I'm saying, period." And that may sound angry and cold. The only punctuation marks, now this is the interesting part, the only punctuation marks that Gen Z still commonly relies on are, I mean, can you guess which are the only punctuation marks that they rely on?
Um, the greater than symbol.
No. Want to try again?
Okay, because I've seen the greater than symbol where being used in the way like, oh, okay, this is amazing, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm guessing it's not the common one. The comma seems
No, no,
question
they are.
mark, perhaps.
Yes, one is a question mark and the other?
Okay, the exclamation mark then.
Yes. So that those the only two. Yes. So the only punctuation marks Gen Z still commonly relies on are exclamation and question marks to convey emphasis or inquiry.
Ah,
In their
okay.
book, Katz and colleagues wrote that people in Gen Z are mindful that their texts and messages can easily be perceived as sarcastic, rude, or confrontational. So they avoid shouty caps, commas, and full stops.
Even commas. Okay. Hmm. Very unexpected and a lovely piece of trivia. I like that. I learned something new.
So it's your turn, Aditya.
All right. So now, since we were doing questions, since we were doing slangs from other parts of the world, I thought why not do it from another country that I visited, and I loved the slang there. This was Australia. So it's closer to home, at least because they speak English, but also their English is so different that it almost feels like a different language.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, 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 mate.
Oh, that's
Horrible.
just scratching the
That's
surface.
just
Let's
bad.
try. Okay.
That's just bad.
Yeah. What do you think akadaka means?
Akadaka is ACDC. I'm an
Oh,
ACDC
look
fan,
at
man. I know what
you.
Akadaka means.
Okay, all right. Vineeth knows his stuff. All right. Akadaka is ACDC, or how an Australian would refer to the band ACDC. Uh, what is Barbie?
That's a barbecue. You put shrimp on the
That's a
barbie.
that's a shrimp on the Barbie. That's right. Okay. This one is I had never even heard this word before I went to Australia, and it's called bogan. Do you know what bogan is?
Yeah, it's like a kind of an Australian redneck, right?
Ah, that's pretty much the apt description. It might be considered offensive in some contexts, but
Yeah.
from what I saw being used around me, it wasn't something that you can't say. Like people do use the word still, but yeah,
How do you
maybe
spell? How do
not
you,
in
actually? What's the actual pronunciation? Is it Bogan? Bogan? How do you spell? How
bogan.
do you
From
bogan?
the Australians around me, I heard it was bogan. So perhaps
Okay.
not in the politest of companies you want to use this word, but maybe in general common
Ah.
slang, it's acceptable. What about dax?
Ooh, Dax. Isn't there an actor by the name of Dax Shepard? No, nothing to do
Oh,
with
that is true.
that.
But this is DAX with DAKS.
Oh, it's short for dancing around a kangaroo is silly.
I really wish that was the meaning now because that is so much better than what it means.
I have no clue. You'll have to tell me what this
it,
is.
it's trousers and it comes from tracky dax. So sweatpants like tracksuit pants. Tracky dax. So dax is trousers.
Oh, ah,
Yeah.
ah.
I like that is a very apt response to finding out that trivia. Okay. One last one. What does straya mean?
How do you spell that?
Straya.
Isn't that an investment company?
I'm sure it is, but not in the context of Australian slang.
Okay. Ah, no, nothing comes to mind.
It is Australia. That's what
Oh
they
my
refer to
god.
as straya. Yeah, straya.
Oh my god. Oh god.
At this
So we
point,
should
I have to.
taking that logic, we should start calling India Dia.
Yes. Hey, hello, excuse me. It is Bharat, okay? Please
Yeah.
don't
So then it'll be Rat.
mess that up. Rut.
I'll go to
It's
Rat and
just.
be back, man.
I'm just stuck in a rut. Wow.
Yes, you're
We are
stuck in
so
Rat.
getting cancelled. We are so getting cancelled. All right.
Yeah.
At this point, I have to give a shout out to one of my absolute favorite YouTube channels. It's called Aussie Man Reviews. It's this Australian guy who's reviewing random stuff, and he does it in the thickest Australian accent with the most fair dinkum, another Australian slang which means honestly, fair dinkum usage of Australian slang, and it's phenomenally hilarious. You just have to watch it to believe it. Yeah, please go check out Aussie Man Reviews.
Nice, nice. That was an enjoyable set of trivia. I'm going to just, do some very basic, do you know what this means set of questions, right? So, do you know what BOP means? BOP. These are all just stuff that I found really weird. So, BOP.
Bop. I feel like I
There are
know
two
what boop
meanings for it.
means.
One is safe for work, and one is but very not safe for work. So, I think the more common usage is the safe for work one. So, if you can guess that.
Pop. Um, is it an acronym?
No, it's not.
S- Is it to touch someone on the nose?
No, that I think would be technically boop, not bob.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Boop. Okay. So, what is a bop?
It's a very Gen Z slang. Very Gen Z.
Only thing I can think of is birds of paradise.
No, no,
I
it's not.
have
It's not an
no idea.
acronym. It's not an acronym.
Yeah, you said it's not an acronym. So it's a bop. A bop. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna pull one right out of thin air. A bop is when somebody is driving a car and it suddenly breaks down in the middle of the road and they don't want to do anything about it, so they just leave it right there because it's a very old car. I bopped that car.
Wow. I mean, Aditya, that is. You could not be more wrong with that answer.
It is the wrongest I've ever been.
Yes. So a bop is Gen Z slang for, and this is true, a song that is very enjoyable.
Oh, okay, yeah. That
Okay.
makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
It can also be verbed. So basically, you can also use it in sentence like when the song's beat is so dope, you got to bounce to it a little. Dang, bro, that beat so hard, you got me bopping. Yeah, that was
Vineet,
me trying to sound like a Gen Z person.
I have never wanted to shut you up more than in the last 10 seconds. Just stop talking, Vineet.
No, but
That
I'm
is
going to continue this. I'm going to imitate
okay.
every Gen Z person I know. But the non-safe for work version of this is there is also it's also a name to call a female who gives head to anyone.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. They call them a bop because when they give head, they bop their heads.
All right. That is really an SFW. Okay, all right.
Yes, we'll have to
I
mark this episode as explicit. Yeah.
yeah. I
So
recommend just editing that part out entirely.
Yeah,
Okay.
man. Word. Okay, so the second question in that set is, if someone responds mood to something you say, what does that mean? Like you say
It's a
something and
mood.
they respond saying mood.
It's a mood. It's a vibe. It's cool. It's fun.
Yeah, you're basically describing what they use for vibe. It's not.
Oh man. Okay. It's a mood means yeah, I'm gonna pull one more out of the thin air. Its mood is what does I use it in a sentence and I'll tell you exactly the meaning.
No, that's just it. They're just going to say mood. It's one word,
Uh, wha-
mood.
but what is it in response to?
Okay, say for example, I was rejected again. You say I was rejected again, and I say mood.
Oh, it means that I think you need to talk to a therapist and feel your feelings out and really process this trauma that you have gone through recently, because that is the really appropriate way of dealing with heartbreak and trauma and pain in life in general. Mood.
You got one part of that right. You are empathizing with
Oh.
them. In the sense, like, basically, when you say mood, you're telling them that you relate to them and you empathize with what they're saying. So it's used to express something that is relatable. So you remember, like, when we were younger, we used to say same. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I feel bored, and you'd be like, same. Yeah, the
Hmm.
same thing, but different. Like, so instead of same,
Okay.
now they say mood. Like, one of the many
Mood.
terms they use is mood. And if something is
Hmm.
especially relatable, like, you relate to it very strongly, you can say big mood.
Big mood. Okay. That
Yeah,
is
this implies that your whole being is one and the same with whatever you're commenting on.
okay. Okay.
So,
All
mood,
right.
baby.
All right.
Yes, I have many more of these, but I don't want to blow all of them together. I will leave you with this. What does bet mean? Bet as in
Be
bet.
pet. Use it in a sentence.
Like, literally one word, bet.
Okay, what is it in response to?
Okay, so somebody says, okay, do you want to go out for a pizza? And I say,
Bet.
bet.
It means that I have a crippling gambling addiction and have lost all my money, so I cannot accompany you on this pizza date until unless you agree to pay for my pizza as well.
Yeah,
Bet.
that's a little too long. It literally means yes. When you agree with somebody or something, it just means yes. Literally, that's all it means. Yes.
I wonder why would you come up with slang for a word which is single syllable? It is
Yeah.
not like you're shortening it further. Instead of
Yeah.
saying
No,
yes, you're
if I
just
if
gonna
I
say
if I if I actually, before knowing any of this, if I came across somebody who was doing this, somebody's like, oh, I got rejected today. Mood. You want to go out for a pizza? Bet. I'd be like, okay, is this guy related to Groot or something? He knows only one word or two words. That's it.
yeah.
So I'll give you the rest of the set after your question.
I look forward to that. Okay, so for the final question from my set, I'm going to do something which I love, and I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to ask you the meaning of words from Urban Dictionary, a website
Oh God.
for anybody who has not seen it before. A fantastic way to spend an entire day doing absolutely nothing but just laughing.
Yeah, it's a
Because
it's a
Urban
rabbit
Dictionary
hole. You
is
go down it, you're not coming up again. And if you do, you look like the Mad Hatter.
exactly. So, what does the phrase man stand mean?
Man stand.
Yeah.
So I'm going to extrapolate from man spreading to man standing. So is this standing with a very wide stance like a gunslinger or something?
That's a good guess, but no, it's not the answer. By the way, all of these definitions are from Urban Dictionary, so I don't know who is using it, but Urban Dictionary defines it as such. Okay,
Okay, a man standing.
I'll use it in a sentence. I've been
Okay.
doing the man stand outside that store for an hour.
So he's waiting for his girlfriend to come out.
Exactly. So, man stand is a very heteronormative way of defining how a man usually stands outside a shop waiting for his girlfriend slash wife or whatever to get done shopping, and meanwhile they're just looking into space or looking into their phones or talking to other man standing near them. That is a man stand. Okay. This one, Irish handcuffs. What does Irish handcuffs mean?
You're drunk.
Not specifically. It is close, but not exactly. Let me use it in a sentence. Hamish O'Bailey was in Irish handcuffs last night at the pub.
Hamish O'Bailey. That's a very stereotypical Irish name.
Well, the name doesn't
And
matter,
he,
but yes.
yeah, so but he was in Irish handcuffs. I mean, let's go with the stereotype. Irish people are poets and people who have a prodigious capacity to drink. So putting those together, I don't know. I'm still coming up with just being drunk.
Well, close enough. I'll tell you what exactly. In specifically being drunk, it is about a person carrying an alcoholic beverage in both hands at the same time. That's called Irish
Oh,
handcuffs.
I wonder what you would call one of those serving wenches at Oktoberfest who carry like 15 steins on either hand.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess
Those
that's
would have to be
German
German handcuffs.
German Hydra. I don't know.
The German handcuffs. Nice.
Exactly.
Okay. What's more?
This one is so childish. I can't even believe I'm asking you this, but you know what? I might as well. What is a clutch oven?
A clutch oven.
Yeah.
Like I know what a Dutch oven is. A clutch oven. Wouldn't know even where to start.
So what is a? You know what a Dutch oven is? It's
Yeah, it's used for slow cooking.
somebody.
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, that's not what the Dutch oven in slang
Oh,
means.
okay. I
I
okay.
love this
Okay,
beautiful,
slang.
innocent mind that you have, Vineeth. It's cute. A Dutch oven is when somebody passes flatulence under
Oh.
covers in bed, and
Oh.
Dutch ovens the other person technically. Like it is going to become extremely
Oh, okay, yeah.
uncomfortable and yeah, rancid. I'm trying to think of the best possible words to use to describe in a very uncomfortable situation.
See,
So that
this
is a
episode
Dutch
anyway is
oven.
going to be explicit, so just use the word anyway.
So that's a Dutch oven. What do you think a clutch oven is?
Hey, when you do it in your pants?
No, no, no. A clutch oven is in a car full of people. So
Oh.
that's when you do a clutch oven.
Oh, clutch. Yes, nice, nice. In a
It's a
car full of
clutch
people.
oven.
Clutch oven.
Okay, I'm going to ask one last one. And if you have any qualms with these definitions, please take it up with Urban Dictionary. Do you know what chipmunking is?
Chipmunking.
Hmm.
Chipmunks. Not something to do with oral sex.
Oh no, no, no! This isn't sexual at all. This has to do with the college life.
Chipmunking. Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers. Somebody's watching cartoons. I don't know. What? I have no clue.
Okay, so this one is something I think you can crack. So I'm just going to give you a sentence as an example.
Okay.
Person A asks, "Have you studied for tomorrow's exam?" Person B responds, "Nah, I'm chipmunking all the lectures tonight."
So they're either binging all the lectures,
Close, but why chipmunking specifically?
they're hoarding the nuts for the winter. I don't know.
Think
What do
more.
chipmunks do?
Think more chipmunk sound.
What sound do chipmunks make? I don't know what
Do you know
sound do
what?
chipmunks make.
Have you heard of Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Yes, but I've never watched it, so I don't know exactly
Okay,
what.
but do you know the sound quality? You don't have to have watched it, but do you know the rough sound quality of what?
Squeaky. Very squeaky.
Yeah, yeah, very squeaky. You're right. You're right. You're right. So if I'm chipmunking all the lectures tonight,
So you're on helium? No. Okay.
okay, you know
Hi.
what? I'll give it
No.
to you. I'll give it to you. The chipmunking all the lectures basically means watching numerous recorded university lectures
Not very fast. Okay, you're basically
on a
watching at
very
high
fast
speed.
speed, on a very high speed. You're watching it
Oh,
at 2x or
nice.
3x the speed. That is chipmunking. And I
That
think
actually
I've done
makes
a lot of this. I've done a lot of this in college and it never works. Like the last night before an exam, I'll just be like, yeah, tonight I'm going
no.
to
Yeah.
understand all of uh, electrical engineering in 8 hours. And that never pans out, honestly. Yeah.
I'll be honest now. What I'm about to say, younger me from 20 years ago would absolutely kill me for saying this, but it's the absolute truth. What you study during the year is what you end up writing on the paper.
That is something college me would have never accepted, Vineeth. Would
Exactly the
have.
same thing. Same thing. College me would not, because I used to pull all nighters in the middle of the night, right? Wake up early morning and just start cramming for whatever paper. But trust me, at the end of the day, the answers you write perfectly are the ones you studied during the year.
I, so this is for anybody who has heard our previous episodes and one of our very frequent guests, HK Hari Krishna. Hari Krishna was a friend of mine in college, and there is this one exam that we were going to go for. It was, I believe, database design, and I truly felt like I had studied all night and I was going to ace this exam. And just before
Mhm.
the exam, I asked HK one thing. Like I was like, "Can you help me clarify this one thing?" And HK, being the excited person that he is, he helped. He was trying to help me understand the entire syllabus in the 5 minutes before the exam. And I went in and I gave that exam, and I ended up with a C grade on that exam. And I blame
Which
him
isn't
till
bad.
no, no, but I blame him because I thought I was going to ace that exam, and I blame him till date, saying that, hey, HK, I got a C because of you. And HK stands by the fact that I would have failed that exam if not for him, so I should be grateful to him for the C grade. So we have had this constant debate of what exactly does that C mean? Is it something I should be grateful for, or is it something I should be angry at him for? And we still haven't
Ladies
settled
and
that
gentlemen,
question.
first world problems. Getting a C is bad. No, no,
Oh,
I'm just pulling your leg. I'm just pulling your leg.
such are the
No, but
qualms, yes. Okay. Anyways, that is my last question.
I'll wind up mine, this thing with a set of questions. So let's go through this very quickly. They're all with the same category of questions. So let's say if somebody told you that you got ratioed, what does that mean? Ratioed as
You
in
got
ratio, ratioed, ratioed.
you got ratioed. You were caught up in a lot of work that your attention was divided in multiple zones.
No, no, no.
Damn it. What is it? No idea.
So when somebody gets ratioed, it means that they tweeted something so terrible that the number of replies and quotes calling them out on it is way more than the number of likes and retweets.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. That
Yeah.
actually makes sense.
Yeah. So let me move into my Gen Z avatar. Damn, you got 12 likes and his reply got 271 likes. He totally ratioed you, bro.
Oh, Vineet, I really want to tell you that you need to figure out your life. My automatic response is figure out your life, Vineet.
Oh no, no, I'm sticking with this character work. What does taking an L mean? Taking an L. L
Oh,
as in
I
the
know
letter
this one.
L.
Taking an L is basically you got put down or you lost something or you were insulted or you lost, yeah, something along those lines, and you're supposed to take it.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes, yes, exactly. When you take an L, it means you've experienced defeat.
Hmm.
What does, and this is a little confusing, I'm baby mean? Yeah, this is an actual thing. I'm baby.
I am baby,
Yes, I'm baby. Baby, as in the young of the human species.
and I'm assuming there's no comma here. I am comma baby. No.
No, no, no. It's just
Okay.
I'm baby. It's a contraction. I'm I apostrophe M baby.
Oh, got it. I'm baby. It basically means, oh, is it a reference to the movie Boss Baby? And I'm a boss, so I'm boss, but I'm baby.
No, 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 no.
Okay, I have no idea then.
This is one of some of the more literal. This is one of the more literal ones.
I'm cranky.
No, come on, man. Babies are always cranky. I mean, like they do make it their point of their existence to make you cranky, but let's just say that babies are not like when you think of baby. I mean, like seriously, is cranky the first thing that comes to mind when you think of a baby?
Oh, okay, fine. First thing that comes to mind, cute. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So same thing.
Hmm.
So when someone says I'm baby, they are referring to the fact that they are innocent, cute, gentle, adorable, loving, and lovable. So saying I'm
Oh.
baby is an easy way out in the middle of a harmless argument when you want to justify your fault by pretending that you didn't know.
Okay. Okay. I'm baby.
Yeah, it, it's just weird to me. Now, the following two are two of the more really uh, the ones my mind could not wrap itself around. Okay, what does sending me mean? Sending
Oh, I know
me,
this one.
SENDINGME. If you did, more power to you, man. I still don't get it. I can't use it. I mean, like, I can't consciously use it in a sentence. So I've copied sentences where people have actually used it if you need examples. But yeah,
Sending me is where it is making me feel good.
yeah, you're,
Something
you're,
along
you're
those
in the
lines.
ballpark. You're in the ballpark. Yes. So when somebody sends you, it basically means that they made you laugh or cackle really hard. So it
Yeah.
is the equivalent to I'm screaming or I literally can't. It's basically when
Hmm.
something that has little to no humor in it, but somehow you manage to laugh at it. So, getting into the Gen Z avatar, I'm going to have to put a name for this Gen Z avatar for the future.
Okay.
The picture of Pete Davidson walking on the streets after Ariana Grande kicked him out is sending me.
You sounded like somebody who is a massive fan of Ariana Grande and is going through teenage puberty. Yeah, I
Dude,
sensed
God
it.
is a woman.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah, so that's sending me. And now this is hands down the most confusing one I had. What does Cheugy mean? Now, it's
Ch-
pronounced Cheugy. It's spelled Cheugy.
Cheugy. Is this also some sort of like an acronym which has been modified or
No, it's not an
something?
acronym. It's not an acronym. No.
Cheugy means to stand in line waiting for your passport for very long and you keep biting your nails because you're an anxious person. I chewed today. Am I even close?
No.
Fair enough.
So basically, I could technically, I don't think I'm using it right, but maybe you are being choosy.
Oh, I am being choosy right now with this answer.
Yeah. Like technically,
I'm
not
being
exactly, but
I'm I'm being evasive.
no, I got it wrong. Okay. So basically, with the Chuji means Chuji means the opposite of trendy. Okay, so
Okay, okay.
it's but basically it's when someone follows those out of date trends. These may be but not included limited to fashion habits on social media, use of slang. An example for this again in my Gen Z avatar would be my friend told me to change out of my favorite pair of Miss Me jeans because they were Cheugy. And according to the New
Mm,
York Times, Cheugy can be used broadly to describe someone who is out of date or trying too hard.
okay.
That's what I meant when I said you were being Cheugy.
Fair enough. I think I am choosy all my life. That is pretty much a
Now,
summary
now,
of my
be
existence.
honest. Be honest. We've gone through a lot of these terms today. How many of these do you think that you would be actually able to use? Forget the fact that you know this. How do you think you'd be able to insert this into your day-to-day conversation in a
You
non-ironic
know
manner?
what? No, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around putting full stops more often in all sorts of communication just to make a point, quite
Yeah, we're
literally
being
and
grumpy old
metaphorically.
men. Yeah, by doing that, we'll become grumpy old men.
Somebody has to set this generation
Stand up.
straight. Yeah.
Stand up for the English language. But again, to all our listeners, this is all in just good fun. Right. Generation gaps are there between every generation. And frankly speaking, the perception on social media and among people of our generation and those older than us is that Gen Z is spoiled. They want instant gratification. They're not patient, but it is actually far from the truth. So, a few facts before we wind up today's episode. A few facts about our juniors of Gen Z compared to previous generations. Members of Gen Z tend to live more slowly than their predecessors when they were the age. They have lower rates of teenage pregnancies. They consume alcohol less often, and they're more concerned than older generation with academic performance and job prospects. And they are better at delaying gratification than their counterparts from the 1960s, despite concerns to the contrary. Sexting has grown in prevalence. We don't know how that's going to affect them in the future. Globally, there is evidence that the average age of pubertal onset among girls has decreased considerably compared to the 20th century. Additionally, the prevalence of allergies among adolescents and other young adults in Gen Z is greater than the general population. There is greater awareness and diagnosis of mental health conditions. In many countries, Gen Z youth are more likely to be diagnosed with intellectual disabilities and psychiatric disorders than older generations. And around the world, members of Gen Z are spending more time on electronic devices and less time reading books than before. So, mixed bag there. But I think a lot of misconceptions, like when I read the research on this, because I too, or to be honest, was of this thought process, that they want instant gratification, that they are more likely to party and they are more likely to not pay attention to academics. But in as a whole, it's not true. Those are just misconceptions that we have. And so, to our audience, many of whom are from Gen Z, this episode was very educational for both of us.
In summary, I would like to say Gen Z, they got Riz, no cap.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
All right, Vineet,
Okay.
should we wrap this up?
Yes, yes. High time we wrap this up. Aditya, what is your question for this week? Before I move on to the audience question.
I'm going to ask you a question based off of something you asked me. You asked me why, if in a text message you end with a full stop, would that be considered maybe offensive or problematic to a Gen Z person? And I'm going to ask you, if I choose to write a message in all uppercase letters, why would that be considered offensive to a Gen Z person? And the answer will be delivered next week.
Yes, it shall. And before we wind up today's episode, let me just give the answer to the audience question. The audience question was Tilly Kotman, better known by her online alias Maya Arson Krimiu, is a Swiss developer and hacker. In 2023, the hacker announced that they had gained access to a 2019 copy of the United States X. Allegedly, they had found this on an unsecured server belonging to a regional airline, Commute Air. According to the hacker, X was unusual in that over 10% of the entries were Muhammad. What is X? What am I talking about? Aditya, do you have any ideas?
No fly list?
Yes, it is. It is the US no fly list. The US no fly list with over 1.5 million records of banned flyers and upwards of 250,000 selectees was shared publicly on a hacking forum. And apparently, 10% of those were people named Muhammad.
Yeah, some racial profiling there for sure.
Very true, very true. So that is the end of the episode. Thank you all for listening in. We hope you enjoyed the show and learned something new, especially about Gen Z. Hopefully, we educated you and ourselves in good fun, and also cleared up some misconceptions about Gen Z. If you liked what you heard, please consider subscribing to our podcast, leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform, wherever you're listening to us right now. It helps us reach a wider audience and allows more people to discover and enjoy the show. We'd also love to hear from you, feedback, suggestions, and even trivia. You can reach us on Instagram at Are You Quizzing Me? And if you're listening to us on Spotify, there's a question at the bottom. If you scroll a little bit down the screen, you can see a question which asks you what you thought of this episode. You can leave your feedback there as well. If you have any suggestions for more theme episodes like this, we are always receptive to that as well. We appreciate your support and look forward to sharing more episodes with you in the future. Aditya will be back with the fact check after the musical sting. That's all from me. Thank you and have a great day.
Shout out to Sonu one more time and see you all guys next week. And here's the fact check for the episode. The Straya Group is a specialized strategic consulting firm, not an investment company. And that's all for a very quick fact check.